Washington.
Indeed, indeed. Good night. Good evening, everybody. Happy Reggae Month and welcome to the JN Talking Reggae Symposium, the final event of this year's Reggae Month 2022 activities. Now, a special welcome to those in our studio audience, our viewers on Television Jamaica and PBCJ, those watching the live stream on JN's YouTube channel and Zoom, and those listening on Nationwide 90 FM. JN Talking Reggae was conceptualized by the JN Group in keeping with its commitment to empower Jamaicans and improve their lives. Given reggae's importance to the economy and to the lives of almost every Jamaican, its development is key. Now, this evening, we're grateful to have the endorsement of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and the support of the JCDC and JARIA. Building a vibe, building a nation is our theme, and we're here to do just that. Build a vibes. I'm boss Wolipa Miss Kitty Blank. La 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 la. But of course, in all of that, we engage in some stimulating discourse and how we can do better and better position our best known export reggae music as a reggae put Jamaica on top, okay, as a tool of national growth. Now, I want to specially acknowledge the CEO of the Jamaica National Group, the Honorable Earl Jarrett, who will officially welcome us in a moment, and the Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, who will be one of our presenters this evening. Among tonight's other presenters will be Grammy-nominated music producer Christy Barber, internationally acclaimed record label executive David Miller, entertainment lawyer Ron Young, General Manager at JN Life Insurance, Hugh Reid, and reggae artist, producer, and JN Group Ambassador, Agent Sasko. Check, 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 check. I want to hear about. I'm going to tell you the theory of reggaetivity in the building. So you know it's going to be really, really hot. Now, we're also excited to have brought together a panel of experts in Jamaican culture and reggae. Our panelists are dancehall and reggae producer, and some may even call him my TV husband, Cordell Scatter Burrell. Deputy Managing Director, JN Bank, Gillian Hyde. Chairman of JARIA, Yohan Simpson. And popular radio personality and disc jock, the Captain, Colin Hines. Marketing and Communication Director, Edna Manley College, Colleen Douglas. And Cultural Studies and Music Academic and Activist, Dr. Sonja Stanley Naya. And I got to tell you, she's quite fit and she loves the reggae. Now, unfortunately, one of our previously advertised panelists, Herbie Miller, director of the Jamaica Music Museum, will not be able to be with us tonight because of unforeseen circumstances. And we do sincerely apologize for that change. However, you know once the Queen Diva's in the building, you know what time it is. You know the thing turn up loud, right? Now, I did say we're going to build a vibe, so you don't want to miss our two exciting performances from international superstar, reggae dancehall superstar. Yeah, step out in him, block and yeah, busy. Signal, sound it. Them can't go around it. And two-time Grammy-nominated songstress, the strong one, Lady Etana. Now, to kick things off, I'm pleased to introduce one of our most accomplished gentlemen, the CEO of the Jamaica National Group, the Honorable Earl Jarrett, who will officially welcome all of us this evening.
Our host, Miss Kadeen, Miss Kitty Hilton, Honorable Olivia Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Ms. Christy Barber, Grammy-nominated producer, Mr. David Miller, International Record Executive, executives of the JN Group, presenters, panelists, and artists, television audience, and audience on the wide world of the internet. Good evening to you all, and welcome to the JN Group Talking Reggae Symposium. Whilst today, February 28th, brings Reggae Month 2022 to a close, it also signals the continuation of the development of reggae as a global form of music, expressing the hopes and aspirations of all persons for equal justice, freedom, love, and happiness. It may not be a coincidence that February is observed in the United States as Black History Month, to recognize it and celebrate the accomplishments of the Black community there. Reggae music is a continuation of the efforts of the people, such as Marcus Garvey, to struggle for liberation from oppressive conditions. Reggae music was born out of the expressions of the people of Jamaica for improvement and progress in their lives. Since then, reggae has grown to impact people from around the entire world who have similar aspirations to be free from oppression. Reggae music has become the rallying call for many. Recently, if you were watching television, you would have seen in Canada and the United Kingdom and the United States many protests. And in all of them, there was always reggae music playing in the background as an expression of protest and included the conversations about reggae music, its history, and the opportunities for the development of the music, and its impact on the lives of people of Jamaica. I look forward to this evening's discourse as we seek to move the industry to another level through conscious, deliberate decisions about its future and that of its participants. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Earl Jarrett. Give him a round of applause now, man. Man talk good. Big up the big boss. Thanks again to Mr. Jarrett for that very wonderful address. And of course, for the group support of our music. Now, reggae and dancehall music is our passion. It's indigenous to our island. And there's one thing that has become a prime feature in the musical space, right? That is the video light. Walk up in the video, cause you cute. Do. Okay, yes. You have to walk up in the video light, right? When you put on your good clothes, your lotion, you come out nice. And of course, you have to go in the video light. Now, the video light separates and spreads, okay, throughout the entire culture. The dance people know the vibes. Therefore, we took to the streets recently and gave a few people the chance to be in the, you guessed it, the video light, and to share their opinions. Now, we asked them, what are some of the things that should be done to assist in the growth and promotion of reggae music? Let's hear what they had to say.
Invest in reggae music, because reggae music is our one, you see me?
What are the things that should be done for the growth and promotion of reggae music? We need an academy to train upcoming musicians, upcoming artists, how to perform on stage, how to interact with the crowd, how to dress.
What I would want from the government is the government to get themselves a music industry facility with a studio and with classrooms and with just a place where people can gather. There is none of that.
Remember when Bob and Dennis Brown and Alton Ellis and those great ones were around, they supported each other and they bring along others with them also. So we need that movement now in this time.
Reggae and dancehall, our old genre in Jamaica, yeah, we need for those strengthen it up. You know what I mean? And the youth, them a day and night, not eat no food, yes, but on the door, I forgot the negative.
When it comes to reggae music, there are a lot of positive signs. Of course, there are negatives. But for us to improve it, we need to have people who is going to sit down, look into themselves, think about what they are doing, and think about what goes on in everyday's life. First of all, we have to think about the children. The lyrics he put out there has to impact on the children in a positive way and not a negative way.
We need to know in Jamaica this time, stop talking and financially back the thing from a government standpoint. When election is going on, it's our music that they use to promote because they know it's the heartbeat of the people. So instead of using the music for selfish gains, embrace and support.
Wow, amazing. The people them talky, man. Very articulate. Thank you so very much, Jamaicans. And this is something very near and dear to us. Unity, strength, togetherness, one love. And definitely put your money where your mouth there. Otherwise, nobody chat yeah. And I got to tell you, this Vox Pop actually segues well into my next presenter, who is at the helm of the ministry that has control over culture and entertainment. She has done a stellar job of putting together this calendar of events for this year. And trust me, we'll have to give her our flowers. She has been in the music industry and has definitely impacted the industry in a positive way and the lives of so many artists. She is our Minister of Entertainment, Culture and Sports, and she's here with us this evening. Please welcome the Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange.
Thank you, Miss Kitty. Much love. I just want to first acknowledge the Honorable Earl Jarrett, CEO, Jamaica National Group. And of course, I did hail up our host, Miss Kitty. And I want to acknowledge the presence of the esteemed panelists and presenters and artists and the media that's here. Now, we have come a long way, a very long way. Today marks the final day of Reggae Month 2022. And what better way to close out the month than by focusing on creating a framework for the growth of Jamaican music. I thank the Honorable Earl Jarrett and Jane Bank for organizing this event and for engaging the entertainment and creative sectors as they chart their way into a post-pandemic world. Be it any of our indigenous genres of mento, ska, rocksteady reggae, dub, or its offshoots of reggaeton and even rap, all have evolved out of the lived experiences of our people who have used ingenious beats and harmonies to vocalize their every emotion. Historically, our musicians often rose from the inner cities and have used music as a means of social mobility. The genres they have created have permeated all corners of the globe, reaching and inspiring races and ethnicities, some of whom neither understand the word of English, not a word of English, nor Jamaican patois. To facilitate the continued viability and growth of Jamaican music, my ministry has embarked on a series of measures geared towards safeguarding the rights of practitioners, artists, and producers. Key among these was the preparation of a candidature filed to UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization in 2019 on the reggae music of Jamaica to have the element inscribed on UNESCO's representative list. It wasn't an easy task, but we were able to achieve it. And in so doing, it was established that reggae is the product of the creative genius of the people of Jamaica. While it is acknowledged that many forms of reggae, other types of reggae, such as Pinoy reggae in the Philippines, have been inspired by our music, it is now recognized that Jamaica is the source of reggae music. My ministry also prepared a proposal to the European Union and to UNESCO for technical support under their expert facility on the governance of culture. And I'm happy tonight to announce that through this facility, Jamaica will produce a first draft of an Entertainment, Cultural, and Creative Economy Act. And we're hoping to have that draft by June 2020. In this, our 60th year of independence, Jamaica will therefore establish a legal framework within which protection mechanisms will be in place for entertainment, cultural, and creative sectors. This act will also outline incentives for investors, including Jane Bank, of course, into the ECCI sectors, taxation relief mechanisms for artists, of course, with the support of the Minister of Finance. And these incentives will also be available to musicians and other creatives, and the creation of a purpose-built space for creative expression. This work continues in tandem with the ratification on international legal instruments which safeguard the copyright of Jamaican creatives, even within the metaverse. The newly drafted National Cultural Policy, which is at an advanced stage of completion, also outlines the legal framework within which the Jamaican music ecosystem will function and through which creatives can earn from their craft. So it is my hope that these initiatives will inform today's deliberations and presentations as we look toward creating an enabling environment in which our Jamaican culture can thrive. I want to say, as I started, we have come a long way from the days of being in the sector myself. The banks were not receptive, except for one bank, and we had to mortgage everything we had. And so tonight, I hope this is the beginning of a new era. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Earl Jarrett. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so very much, Minister. A lot there. And guys, we're going to hold our minister accountable. I hope you are writing the stuff down. All Jamaica in the metaverse. No, can you imagine? We in the metaverse, start the truth. Jerk chicken in the metaverse. Stone love in the metaverse. Hello? Yellow, shut up. Bounty in the metaverse. I know. Yeah, in the metaverse. Let me tell you, Jamaica in the metaverse is going to be off the chain, and Jamaica National is going to be right there to help us in the metaverse. Wonderful Minister, thank you so very much, and for all the work that you have done, as well as your team and your ministry. We hope that you will continue to strive and thrive in as many ways as possible, and thank you so very much. Now, we have lots coming and lots to do. We have our panel discussion coming up, so I want you to make sure you keep it locked right here to TVJ, PBCJ, and to everybody in the internet land. Good evening. Big up to everybody on Zoom, to everybody on YouTube, to everybody watching. All right, guys, by the way, I would like to see some emojis in the chat, all right? So please, let me see some Jamaican flags in the emojis in the chat. Let me see some fire in the chat, right? And cheering on our presenters and our panelists this evening. We're going to go to our panelists now, right? Or no? I think I have a beautiful lady that's over there. Justine, is that you? Yeah? Or we should take a break first. You know what? We're going to take a break. Yes. Yes, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come right back. Please don't go anywhere. Get yourselves comfortable. Grab some water now. Get some sugar cane now. And turn up the reggae music in your house. And come right back right here. It's the JN Jamaica National Group. It's all about talking reggae right here. I feel like I'm...
Building a vibe, building a nation.
Greetings, everyone viewing on social media. My name is Justine Renee, and I'll be your host here in the JN Talking Reggae Social Media Lounge. Thank you so much for tuning in on Zoom and the JN Group YouTube page. Remember to keep your comments coming. We love to see it. You might get featured over on the main stage. This social lounge is going to be full of excitement. I'm going to have presenters. I'm going to have some of our panelists, even the performers coming over for a little chit-chat and some games. So you do not want to miss that. And to kickstart the excitement and keep my promise, I am going to be giving away prizes to 2 lucky viewers over on both Zoom and YouTube. All you have to do is answer 2 simple questions, all right? So here are the questions. Number 1, what is producer Scatter Burrell's first name? And 2, when was Jamaica National established? I'll repeat. What is producer Scatter Burrell's first name, and when was Jamaica National established? Easy. So the first person to comment in both the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat will be our winners. That's all for me right now. I'll be throwing it back to the main stage.
nation. Building a vibe, building a nation. Building a vibe, building a nation.
Welcome back to the JN Talking Reggae Symposium for 2022 here on TVJ, PBCJ, and streaming via Zoom and JN YouTube platforms. Please ensure you click the like button and do subscribe. Remember to drop your comments and emojis in the Zoom chat and on YouTube. So before we went to the break, we heard a presentation from the Honorable Minister, Olivia Babsy-Grange. On the stage now with me is, or are rather, Cordell Scatter Burrell, Colleen Douglas, Dr. Sonja Stanley Naya, and Johan Simpson to give their feedback. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Well, we're good.
Very well.
Good, good.
Happy Reggae Month to everybody.
Same to you.
Thank you. Same.
Same to you,
Very
Miss
well,
Kitty.
thank you so much. Let me start off with Scatter, because you heard what the minister said earlier. What are your thoughts on some of the new formats and improvements to the reggae industry?
Well, technology has always played an intricate role in music. I've come up and see the technology change, and in the last 12 years, it has gone to a whole another level with digital platforms, So to take it to NFTs and go into the metaverse, of course, that is spearheading the culture, and it is necessary. I'm happy that we're thinking along those lines.
Yes.
If you want me to expand further, though, we should not lose the essence of what makes our music special, and the digital age has contributed a lot to the downward spiral of reggae music, because you cannot hear drum and bass through a cell phone.
Yes.
And that's the main tool in our music, drum and bass. So if we are not allowed to feel that vibration and so forth, that means we're losing a part of the spirituality that comes with our music and our culture. So we need to bear this in mind.
Very well. Let me get to Dr. Sonja on this one. Regarding education, Doc, it's very important. A lot of people, in the past, it's your talent that gets you through, you know what I mean? And the business aspect of it, or the intricacies of the music business, is often left by the wayside. As one of the gentlemen said on the Vox Pop, we need to educate ourselves on the business aspect. What are your views?
I actually totally agree, and that's why institutions like the University of the West Indies, where I work, we have programs in cultural and creative industries, music and performance studies, and entertainment and cultural enterprise management. What's more important, though, is that you can't target people at the tertiary level when it comes on to music education. And I think that where we have some work to do in this country is to put in the kind of infrastructure that we have in sport for music. Every child who goes into a school, and I know Ibo Cooper, wherever he is listening at this time, I'm bigging you up, Ibo, and I'm echoing some of the things that you have said, and people like Mikey Bennett. We want the same infrastructure in school as we do have for sport. Once you go into a basic school or a primary school in Jamaica, you go into a house. This is why there is an easy trajectory to the Olympics. There's training. And I want to see that for music. We can't have musically trained teachers teaching accounts. There must be that infrastructure also for music.
Very well. Thank you so very much, Doc. Well articulated. Johan, as in the Vox Pop as well, the legal aspect of, getting artists the copyright, the intellectual protection that they need before they are exploited. What do you think about how can we implement that so that our artists benefit more from their musical work?
Interestingly, Jamaica has quite a robust intellectual property regime. Part of the challenge is that a lot of people don't know. It's about information. We are given the impression that Jamaica doesn't have the tools that are necessary. And they will tell you, if you want a good entertainment lawyer, go to California. Yes. and they will tell you Jamaica doesn't have enough lawyers who understand this thing. Minister Grange will tell you it's not true. Some of the best experts in intellectual property actually live in this country. And so one of the things that we need to be able to do is to give regard to the skills we have and to elevate the skill sets that we have to the highest order. Because what is happening is that if you're thinking about becoming a lawyer, you think you need to go into real estate, or you need to go into criminal law, or you need to go into banking and finance. Nobody wants to go into entertainment, you know? So it is not as glamorous is a word. I was going to use a word that starts with S, but I'm not sure if, yes, glamorous is the word, or appealing. Yeah. And so that is a part of the challenge where we haven't given, Dr. Naya spoke about education and the structure. We have to allow our children to understand that there are so many different options. Law is one of them. Engineering is another one of them. Marketing is another one of them. Finance, good production, logistics, all of these things go into ensuring that we can actually be a mega state where entertainment and cultural products are concerned. Yes. Good?
Very well. Thank you so much, Colleen. Based on the Vox Pop and just generally speaking, divisiveness is a term that is often used. That why we're not together, we're not united, we fight down each other, we're not together. Talk to me about how stronger we could be if we put aside the differences, focus on the business, and strengthen the pillars of reggae music.
It's interesting that you use divisiveness, because I feel like I'm together with my panelists on the stage. Sonia and Yuan have both spoken for what I would want to speak about. What we're giving to music education at primary, high school level, so that by the time they're ready for Edna Manley College, they're fully prepared for university. So access to music education is important. The truth is, Edna is feeding the industry. There's nowhere you go on stage and you don't see Edna Manley student playing with artists. So we are feeding the industry. So one of the things while we provide this enabling environment is also to consider an institution that has a music education program with people like Ibo who fought for years to ensure that reggae is in the curriculum. So it's that togetherness I appreciate. We don't have to say Yui Edna. We don't have to say Jeria, our sound system. We are very, very together when it comes to setting this framework for an industry that can work for all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Out of many one people. Some very interesting thoughts here on the JN Talking Reggae Symposium. We will now hear from our first international speaker, David Miller, who will be walking us through the nuances and intricacies involved in marketing music in today's climate. With more than 20 years experience propelling urban acts into global superstardom, David started out with his own consultancy firm, Drum Media, before becoming a marketing exec for Sony BMG in the UK. In 2002, he began working with Mariah Carey and spent 2 years on her management team before joining the team at Def Jam Music. 3 years later, he moved to Atlantic Records, where he was instrumental in the development of the careers of artists like T.I., Jay-Z, Flo Rida, Trey Songz, and Wiz Khalifa. Ladies and gentlemen, international record label executive David Miller.
Hello, guys. Thank you. The team spoke to me about how to kind of impart knowledge on helping, supporting, advising artists on how to basically create as much real estate for themselves and as much momentum for themselves as possible in this present modern day time. It's very challenging out there at the moment. You know, it's like being in a forest. 60,000 songs on average being uploaded to digital platforms every day. You know, so by the time you go through, you know, the calendar week, you're talking about 500,000 songs. How do you find your way through that very intense landscape. One important thing that I would say at the top of our conversation is that it really is about consistency. There are lots of artists out there trying to make their way, trying to share their creative with the world. And to get in between all that and become successful, past that and above that, you have to be consistent. The main platform seems to be these days TikTok, which is actually a bit of a anomaly to most of us who have been in the game for a while and watching a lot of these digital and social media platforms develop. TikTok has always been seen as a kind of teenage toy, but now it's definitely a discovery channel, a discovery platform. And we're in a situation where, you know, you can find out all kinds of information and advice and do all kinds of research on TikTok. And that's separately from consistently putting out music, creating interesting kind of behind the scenes content, obviously sharing your lyrics, perhaps doing cover versions. Artwork is very important. Twitter, obviously, sharing perhaps your point of view, your style, your image. There's so many ways to share your talent and your creative. Clearly, videos to each song that you record. That's very, very important. And going back to what I said at the beginning, consistently putting out music. I think you have to sit down with your individual teams, find really good management. People are not just friends or family, but people who have actually been involved in the music industry and know what they're talking about. As far as, you know, helping you, giving you advice, giving you direction. Of course, you know, the best way to make it because of the resources they have is major labels, because of the finances and the connections. But, you know, as you can see that from many other examples in the music industry, you don't have to go down that route. There are lots of independent platforms, independent labels that are open to signing acts. I think that professionalism, just being clear about who you are, what you want to be, being nice to people, being articulate, and knowing exactly where you want to go, where you've come from, and what you're doing in the moment. You know, it sounds pretty simple, but actually it's something that needs to be more consistently present in an artist development, really knowing who you are and where you want to go. Very, very important. I think that that's kind of an overview. There are some individual nuances that need to be put in place, perhaps putting out the music a bit, maybe your main single, maybe the songs that you're most in love with, giving them space to breathe, maybe every 3 months is a great timeline. And then in between those 3-month intervals, you know, you work on behind the scenes content, you work on some of the other interstitial additives that I've talked about, like, you know, showing your style, working on Twitter, working on the social media platforms, Instagram, obviously, you know, just basically reflecting your lifestyle and who you are. It helps. Followers will come once you create interesting content, for sure. And that can be dropped in between, as well as, you know, the videos. And live performance is also something that you need to work on. Just stage presence. Think about how to replicate the sound of the audio that's up for sale as close as possible to your live set. And, you know, there are technical ways to do that, whether you run the track behind you or whether you can pull together some really succinct and professional musicians that can help you do that and find a balance between the two. I think that in this generation, that's kind of something that you need to work on. But overall, I think you'll understand that the overarching message from me is professionalism, consistency, and working with a really good team. I think that's basically my main message.
Thank you so very much, David. Some very salient points there. Johan, I wrote down professionalism, consistency, development, learning new skills, being kind, being articulate, being authentic. Have your swag, know who you are. Be professional. When you appear as the best version of yourself and you give your all. Mediocrity shouldn't be a part of who you are because you think of it up. So when the artists them step out clean, okay? And trust me, some very, very, very good advice there. Thank you so very much, David. And I'm quite sure that our audience on Zoom and on social media are buzzing in the comment section. And when we return, we'll hear what's going on over there. What's going on social media? Keep it locked right here. This is JN Talking Reggae Symposium.
Building a vibe, building a nation. Building a vibe, building a nation. Roll out, roll out. And also known, helping you on your journey. Roll out and make a statement in your brand new vehicle. JN Bank helping you find a way. Free routes and assistance from JA. Roll out with peace of mind. One low monthly payment covers insurance from JNGI. It's free the easy way. Helping you on your journey. One low monthly payment makes a value time to talk to JN. Roll out with a JN auto loan. JN will help you find a way.
Life is full of twists and turns, slips and falls, and times of change. JN Life Insurance Company is here to help you with individual and family critical illness and whole life insurance plans to cover you and your loved ones when things change. So let's hold our reasoning. Let's talk life. Call JN Life at 876-926-1344 or 876-733-7130. JN Life, we'll help you find a way.
Now you can spend less time to make more money. Open a JN Fund Manager's investments account online and turn your screen time into dollar signs. Sign up today, anytime, anywhere at jnfunds.com.
Hon, I forgot to renew the car insurance.
JNGI online. Easy access anywhere, anytime. It only takes minutes, just jump online. Legal insurance must be up to date. No long phone calls and no long wait. Quote by renew.
JNGI Online Motor Insurance, powered by JN General Insurance.
Building a vibe, building a nation.
Welcome back to the JN Talking Reggae Symposium here on TVJ, PBCJ, Zoom, and the JN Group YouTube page. Miss Kitty, you are so right. The comments over here are buzzing, and we have a few to read for you. From Colleen Powell on Zoom, the reggae artists want to see more in terms of grants, sponsorships, and easier help with marketing routes to push newer and emerging artists. Make it easier for individuals to break into the reggae music industry. We also have, from Joseph Dunn, a few questions here. How does one design a recording contract? And is ASCAP and BMI relevant today? Now we move to our next presenter. He will look keenly at the matter of financial independence for creative success. He is an experienced financial executive and entrepreneur who is more than capable of talking to us about financial planning. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Hugh Reid, General Manager of JN Life Insurance.
Thank you, Justine Renee. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here this afternoon with you. As an industry, reggae music is an iconic Jamaican brand that generates billions of dollars in revenue for Jamaica and the global economy. Many players in the sector can and have lifted themselves out of poverty through their talent and skill. However, far too often, unfortunately, many of the industry players end up with little or no savings, sometimes because of poor decisions or perhaps a series of unfortunate events. This evening, my area of focus will be financial independence, a tool towards creative success. Financial independence will mean different things based on your life philosophy and your background. But whatever it means, you can only begin to achieve it by setting goals, investing, and making smart decisions. In addition, good financial planning is critical in helping you achieve financial independence, even in the difficult circumstances of a global pandemic, or if serious misfortune or illness affects you. Two important tools in financial planning are firstly, life insurance to protect yourself against critical illnesses and provide funding for your loved ones when you die, and secondly, a retirement plan so that you can enjoy a quality of life in retirement similar to what you now enjoy. In terms of insurance, JN Life Insurance has a variety of insurance plans that can help you achieve financial independence. We have a unique critical illness plan that also provides continuing coverage for recurrences, yes, recurrences of the major critical illnesses such as kidney failure, heart attack, cancer, and stroke. We also have family insurance plans that provide critical illness coverage and burial insurance for the life insured and up to 5 other family members. Yes, 5 other. Finally, we have affordable life insurance with an investment option to allow you to achieve your major life goals. Now is the time to take the decision and ensure that your family is spared financial hardships when you die, and they do not need to seek assistance from the government, fellow members of the entertainment fraternity, nor feel the need to do crowdfunding to raise money to pay for your funeral. Now is the time to take the decision and ensure that you can access and afford medical care if you are diagnosed with a covered medical illness. With respect to retirement planning, as music practitioners, you are self-employed, and therefore, your best retirement options are your own investments or being part of a retirement scheme, and of course, any royalties you may have. A word of caution, saving for your retirement is not the same as saving for your day-to-day expenses, your emergency fund. You must save for these 3 things independently. With respect to retirement savings, the Jamaica National Retirement Scheme can help you as it facilitates individual persons aged 18 to 65 who are not covered by a pension plan to save consistently towards their retirement. Some of the key financial benefits are contributions are made from earnings before deduction of taxes. So by saving your retirement, saving for your retirement, you actually pay less in income tax. Your retirement savings earn tax-free interest and therefore grow faster than other investments or savings accounts which are taxable. Your retirement savings cannot be accessed by creditors. And if you are unable to work or are terminally ill, we will allow you to access those funds. Ladies and gentlemen, these are a few tips to assist with achieving and enhancing your financial independence. Gaining financial independence isn't earning a large income. What it is being disciplined, making the right decisions and putting the right plans in place to sustain your independence. Please contact us, JN Life Insurance, at 876-926-1344, and we will help you find a way. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Talk about detail. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Reed. That was a great initiative. A round of applause, please. You know, because once we're alive, we want to ensure that, you know, retirement and pension is safe. And let me just encourage every Jamaican and everybody watching right now, the day you start to work is the day you start to save for retirement. One cocoa, full basket. And it's not what you earn, it's what you save and what you invest, all right? Now, joining me on stage are Gillian Hyde, the Captain Colin Hines, Colleen Douglas is still with us, and Scatter Burrell to give their feedback on what Mr. Reed just said. But let me start with Gillian. Hi, Gillian. How are you looking so radiant this evening?
Hi, Miss Kitty. I'm wonderful.
Very well. As you are part of the JN family, what are some of the challenges that entrepreneurs in the creative space, or what we call the orange community, face when it comes to accessing financial support?
Well, let me start with just creating an enterprise, a business around what they do. And I think that has really affected their ability to access credit. And of course, we know that the ability for us to monetize intellectual property continues to be a challenge. So access to ensuring that you have sufficient collateral to gain access to that credit is an ongoing challenge.
And how is JN and the JN body putting measures in place to mitigate?
Well, let me first say that based on our service over the years to the micro and small business sector, we spent a lot of time trying to understand that sector, building a relationship, building a partnership. And so we want to do the very same. We want to zone in on our creative sector to include our artists, of course, and really try to ensure that we design products that meet their needs. Of course, ensuring that through our local and international partnerships, we develop financial products with guarantee programs that provide access to collateral so that we can immediately solve that challenge that they have. And so there are a variety of things, of course, that we're going to be doing this year, and expect that this will support and serve the sector in a very useful way.
Wonderful. Captain Colin Hines, you're here with me. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Great to have you on Talking Reggae this year. Colin, you're a veteran in the business. You have dedicated your life to music and the development thereof, and artists as well. What do you think are some of the critical things we can do now? David spoke about utilizing the social media spaces, Minister spoke about the metaverse, and incorporating all of this so that our music can be further galvanized.
Well, from the artist's point of view, they need to utilize all the tools and the assets at their disposal. The creation of music is different from what it was a generation ago. You know, we've moved from the days of Stamper, Acetate, Master, and 45, and where people would stand across the road in Aquarius record shop and people would toss the records at you. People no longer go out there and buy music, they're streaming it. Music is now non-physical material. And so how you make the music and disseminate it has changed. So how the artist functions in terms of those things have to be different. You have to use all the tools that the gentleman was speaking of, TikTok, all of these things to promote yourself, to promote your content, and to show you because music is spitting out into the universe. It's almost like this massive asteroid belt where everything is competing. So what are you going to do to have your little comet stand out from the others? You have to use all the things that are there and just, milk it to make sure that you stand out.
Scatter made a very good point earlier about losing the essence of reggae music. Even though things are changing, the more things change, the more they remain the same. And though we're in a new space and digital and all of this, social media platforms, we still have to remain authentic. How authentic is reggae music now? Have we lost it? Is it still there? Is it as potent as it once was? And how do we maintain the authenticity while still remaining relevant in the new era and the new age?
Well, there is some signs for concern. I will agree with Scatter on that. Agent Sasko and I had this discussion earlier on. I believe we need to have the new generation, because the music is youth-driven, but those youth can also crash the car. We need to help them in understanding that there is a skeleton created by the greats, and all they need to do now is to change the clothes on the skeleton, but make sure that the shape of the music remains and reference that which came before you, and be creative, but reference that which came before you to maintain quality.
Very well. Colleen, when it comes to the industry, are artists doing enough and putting enough back in the industry? So not just to sit and ask what the industry can do for you, but what can you do for the industry? You can't ask people to clap for you if you're not clapping for yourself. Are artists doing enough to dedicate, to invest, to involve themselves in even Reggae Month, you know? It's Reggae Month. Everybody for me is supposed to play reggae, listen to reggae everywhere, every corner. You're supposed to be hearing reggae. Artists should be promoting it. Are the artists doing enough for the industry that they're asking to do for them?
You know, when Minister was presenting, I thought to myself, we ask a lot of government. Other parts of the world, we ask more of the artists themselves who are in the industry. We don't make that demand. And we sometimes I wonder if we even have an industry, because it's a space where it's every man for himself, and whether it's Jah or God for us all sometimes. So I do think there's lots to do. I laughed and looked at Minister when we talk about government burying people. I've done a lot of fundraising for artists who get sick and just can't afford to their own health services that is being offered, or go to a funeral. When I met Minister Grange first, I was at a funeral and they wouldn't release the body. So we have all of that faced with all the time. So they are thinking in the now sometimes, and the now look glitzy and full of glam. But it's important that artists really pause and consider what's there. It's also important when Mr. Reed was speaking, I think he's a good marketer. It is important that we engage the community, engage the artists directly, so that they know that these services are available and they can have access to it. So access to information for the artists is also important, whether or not they want to listen, but at least we'd have made an attempt to at least engage them so they know what's there for retirement planning, what's there for planning for tertiary education for your children, and so forth. So yes, I do think artists can do more. It's a personal responsibility, but it's also a collective understanding that it's not just you in this. It's an industry, and we're doing it for everybody.
Right,
not just
generational wealth and continuation. Scatter, regarding the business aspect of it, Colleen just mentioned, and we've heard about it, we've seen it in the news. Artists, them hot now, and they're on top, and they don't make enough plans and preparation for the future, their families, and just their music in general. As a businessman, you work with Down Sound Entertainment, and that is a corporate entity that really churns out a lot of artists. In terms of educating the artists and encouraging artists to say, have one eye on the now and one eye on the future, where are we with that? Are we having those discussions? Or it's all about the girls and the cars and, you know what I'm saying, boom, bang?
Just look at the landscape now. There is no school, there is no kindergarten, prep school, primary school, high school, college for this business of music. As a youth, able to step out of my house or whatever, I aspire to be an artist. And his greatest challenge is to learn how to write a rhythm and write a song. So he's now challenged with making an impact, creatively, and there's no lessons on how to spend the money when it's made. They know how to spend the money on the flashy stuff and so forth, but on investment and so forth, that's not even secondary. No one, that's not even taught. I myself met a lot of success at a very young age, like 23 for me, you know, and I got an enormous amount of money coming to me, and the publishing check started coming, and I was overwhelmed. Bought cars, bikes, and then you know what I did? Invested back in the music, because music is the only thing I know. You know, at one point in time when I got word about my future, I tried to open a wholesale in St. Thomas. Tried it for 3 months, it never worked, and I pack up and leave, you know what I'm saying? So we only know how to make music. Majority of the individuals here, for them to transition into the business sector, like farming and so forth, it means putting their career on a hold. And music for any successful person is a 24-hour thing. We have no time to garner no other education. So I think we're in a very difficult situation in terms of making money and investing it and flourishing outside of music.
Well,
Very hard.
let me bring Colin in on this in terms of mentorship and guidance, because Kata said, and we, as entertainers, we know it's a 24-hour job, but it's also important that we put systems in place that can operate for us and even in our absence and delegate and have people do things. So yes, I'm an artist, but it doesn't stop me from doing something else and having multiple streams of income. So like when COVID come, in case not now go on, I can go dig 2 yam, I can go sell 2 tomato, I still can do my thing. What about mentorship, Colin? Because I find that there is a school of thought that says a lot of the artists now, them not listen, but also a lot of the older ones who made the same mistake and buck them to not guiding them. How do we bridge that mentorship gap, and how important is it?
Yeah, it has to be a meeting in the middle for both the youngsters and the veterans. You know, people have said that there is an attitude from the kids making the music now, that they want to be called to the table. They don't want to meet halfway. There needs to be, everybody need to, you know, chill in the room, and the information and the knowledge has to be shared. It has to be, because the culture and the music depends on this. We cannot hold on to our experiences and have the kids not know exactly what is lying ahead of them. So somewhere along the line, there has to be a meeting in the middle, and the information is shared. I also think that maybe we need some sort of a part of the matriculation process, maybe some sort of school or institution set up where kids can go learn.
Yes, Edna is
Yeah,
there.
we do have Edna, but
Dr. Naya
And we have
mentioned UE.
UE has a cultural and creative enterprise. My daughter is at UE doing that. So Edna also has a school of arts management. The truth is, an artist's job is to create art. So if an artist is not necessarily in tune with business, I think they should at least understand it. So, and there are informal ways of educating oneself. So I'm not saying that every artist should go to school.
Very well.
But understanding of there is access to information enough, especially now, that you can inform yourself. But we do have 2 strong institutions in Jamaica who offer courses,
and I'm
degrees
actually talking
in arts
level.
management.
All right,
At a
okay,
level
lady.
not at that sort of tertiary level, at a level lower, where
Okay.
the basics can be passed on.
All right, so we need like a street corner like this, that like Jay need to do more of this. I would just talk on, so, all right, me ready for work. I'm outside. That's right. All right, so we're going to take the break, and we're going to come back and have some more discussion and hear some more of what's in the minds of our panelists and what's going on. And of course, the aim is to talk reggae so that we can all benefit from reggae, okay? Jamaica National Group, and we're going to say big up Talk Reggae Symposium 2022. We'll be right back.
Building a fight, building a nation.
JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card. Send the money. Okay. More withdraw in a hurry. JN Money Card free. With your TRN and your ID. And when me no walk with cash, me just swipe like that. From abroad to CAD, get the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card.
Building a fight, building a nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard his name on this stage. We've spoken about him as the brand ambassador, and he is, trust me, one of the most articulate gentlemen I know, bad artist. Lyrics from now till next year. Listen to me now, bad artist. Iconic. And trust me, he gives you a lot of food for thought. And he's going to be sharing his journey with us right here, right now on JN Talking Reggae.
We put Jah first and second and third. Watch your blessings come forth. No, you can't sing to you now. Yo, it is a miracle for make your thing shot and not end up a gun coat. End up a gun coat.
Growing up on the banks of the hope.
Yeah,
Never give up.
Yeah, all right,
Okay,
kid.
sorry. I'm sorry. Pardon.
That are the building a vibe part. No, that are the building a vibe part. See, at the presentation. Good evening, everyone. Honorable Earl Jarrett, CEO, JN. Honorable Minister Grage, enough respect. And of course, everyone here give thanks, all the panelists, all the presenters tonight, you don't know. All right, so I'm supposed to be presenting on my journey, my growth, and of course, that's in relation to music. And my journey with music began as far as my memories go back. Like, you know, my first memories include being fascinated by this art form. It's like being somewhere, I was in like a Cornwall mountain of Westmoreland, and you could hear the music coming from a sound system in the distance, and it just feel like it live in the breeze. And I just remember that, like, just being fascinated with it. And then further on, I realized that I was more fascinated and interested with not just the more reggae side, the slower beats, but when the up-tempo thing them drop, I realized that, you know, them say DJ is cock up and them hear boom rhythm, right? So I realized that I fell in love with, of course, you know, reggae is the overarching genre, but then no, we don't want anybody fix it. We can't say subgenre, scatter. No, dancehall and reggae. For the purpose of this conversation, we're going to just understand, say, my relationship with the music began with falling in love with reggae and then more so dancehall music. And that journey continued to Kintyre, reuniting with my mother and my siblings there, and my brother discovering some can DJ, and then that discovery of, oh, well, people actually interested in this thing I me like, all right, cool. And then, you know, just being fascinated with the art form and different practitioners, big up Professor Nuts and Lieutenant Stitch and them, and them are 82 babies, so you don't know them, isn't it? And of course, in terms of growth, as I grew, my interest grew with the music, and different people came out, Buju Banton, Madhouse, that whole era in high school and all of that, and I was growing with it. My first DJ contest I won at age 8, DJing a Professor Nuts tune, Tansobak, Zine, and, you know, performing at school. As a matter of fact, a lot of the conversation so far has mentioned the fact that the music needs to be in schools in a formal way. But I must say, in my personal journey, you know, look at after school contests and everything there, it's still in the schools. You know, as I said, my first DJ contest I won at a school concert. My first real performance with a microphone was at a school concert, Hope Valley Big Up, and then of course going to high school, performing at the school barbecue and things like that. So my own journey includes having that school sort of you know, atmosphere to hone my skills, as it were. Now, as it relates to this presentation, I feel like it is important for me to focus a little bit on my growth as a professional and my journey. And what might be useful to the discussion is to understand that the things that I found out when my journey began professionally is right away that the music is not linear. So, you know, if you want to become a doctor, you know, you have the steps you need to follow. Law, I guess the same, and a lot of traditional professions. But with music, you kind of like everybody's journey, everybody's story is different. So I realized, like, if this thing is not linear, then you kind of have to start define your own path, and as such, define your success. You must define your own success, because success will look very different to different people, depending, of course, what they want and what their potential is. So for the purpose of whosoever might be listening that needs to hear this, you need to define your success. You need to understand what your potential is and understand what you want out of this music, because it can be it can be so much. It's very dynamic. It changes with time. And if you're not keen on who you are and what you want, it's easy to lose your way along your journey. You don't want to start your journey. May I have to wrap up now? I got to go, guys. So I guess my journey I have to cut short. I have to take a shortcut. But if there's one thing to take away, please understand that you must define your success. It is relative. Music is a subjective thing. Entertainment business is very subjective. So you have to know what your success looks like to you. As a JN ambassador, it's good to be in a function where a financial institution has put together something like this. We need to give them a round of applause. And I'm saying that as an artist and not the JN Group ambassador. Thank you very much. Yeah, my time done. Love and respect.
Thank you, Agent Sasko. Make some noise for Sasko. Thank you so very much for sharing your journey. If you ever check the choppiness, so but we understand. But trust me, your message definitely resonated and is resonating with all of us and all of those watching. Thank you so very much. Next on stage, we have two-time Grammy-nominated reggae songstress, known for her uplifting and socially conscious music. She has given us hits like Wrong Address, Warrior Love, Roots, I Am Not Afraid, No, Help Me. Welcome on stage right now, the strong one, Etana, accompanied by Elishwa.
Yeah. Mother of creation, Father of the universe. Why I love her? For she's a real woman of a perfect design, not only with physical features, yet beautiful in mind. Yeah, she's a real woman of a perfect design, not only with physical features, yet beautiful in mind. She know her purpose and that comes first. To a real man that comforts. With her position, no she no armed. Help to guide the future generations like a lamp, yeah. Even when the times get tough, and even when the seas get rough, it's amazing how she's made up. Soft like a cotton, yet hard and tough. A real woman of a perfect design, not only with physical features, yeah, beautiful in mind. Yeah, she's a real woman of a perfect design, not only with physical features, yeah, beautiful in mind. She knows her work and takes pride in her work. One in a million, one of a kind, yeah, she's as real can be. Anyone with eyes can see that she don't need company, and she not give it away easily. She's a real woman of a perfect design, not only with physical features, yeah, beautiful in mind. I tell her she's a real woman of a perfect design, not only with physical features, yeah, beautiful in mind, yeah. You don't have to give her the world, for love is all she.
How you doing tonight? I hope you're feeling all right. Woo! If you know you're born strong, sing. I was born strong. I was made for this. See, I met so many hard times when I thought I couldn't make it. See, I've had my trials when my pillows dried my eyes. Then the morning came and my wings took flight. I rise. See, I'm hurting but not broken. Down but I won't die. I rise. Soon I will reach the sky and still I rise. A lot of people like to talk, but when they talk, we just let them talk. That's what they do. If you know this one, sing with me, say. People talk, that's what they do. They don't understand how me still a push and go through. Yes, they laugh. What they do? They call me names, but they just don't get it. Or them see me, I hold my head up just the same. When them see me, them just keep on talking. I mean, no see them, I just keep on walking. I got my pride, me nah go show my bad side. Some of them see me as a big pushover. Want me feel dead, I want me feel kilo over. Oh no, not I and I will survive. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them take away your liberty. Live your life and be free. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them lead you astray. Starting today, live. And you know I walk with no fear. I see them coming after my soul, wanting to take control. Wanna give me lots, wanna give me bling, wanna give me all the material things. I hear them talking about what the world has to offer. Girl, can't you see what they have done to Bedouin and Marcos? Just us and I. But say, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. If them a come, let them come. I'm protected by the Most High. I hope you're feeling good tonight. Reaching out to all of the men who really love the ladies. No offer treat them woman good. Yeah. Loving's for you. Love how you do what you do. Touch me right, treat me good. Rude, why me love how you rude. Can't let a man like you go. I want thing me want you to know. There's no blight to no other guy. Cause for me man love him woman in style. My man, me tell you him I'm a king. Everything when me give up for him. My man, him put the jump to the bass and him know how to ride every rhythm. My man, boy, nobody can feel me body like him. Me give him all what him need. Real comfortable every time with me. Me give him all what him need. Real power like Jay-Z and A. Cause this your loving, this your loving, this your love gonna late. No matter what them do, them can't cut with speed. This your loving, this your loving, this your love gone. Hey, just for me in my walk. My man. Yeah. Ooh, I want you to sing if you know this one. Yeah. Sure. Young, gifted and black. Oh, what a lovely, precious dream. To be young, gifted and black. Open your heart to what I mean. Sure. In the whole world, you know, there are a billion boys and girls who are young, gifted and black, and that's a fact. If you're feeling good tonight, young, gifted and black, we must begin to tell our young. There's a world waiting for you. This is a quest that's just begun. When you're feeling really low, there's a truth you should know. You are young, gifted and black. Your soul's intact. Young, gifted and black. to say. To be young, gifted and black. It's for its
Oh, wow, wow. Make some noise for Etana, the strong one. Mellifluous voice, reggae music, sweetie. Reggae music, nicey. And Etana, she come right out. Where both is we gonna go? Hello? Please to give Etana a round of applause, dear, please. Talk about swag and presence and coming out every day. I gotta tell you, hello, please. That was absolutely amazing. Some fire emojis. I want to see some fire emojis in the chat, some Jamaican flags in the chat, because trust me, one of our divas right here in reggae music, such a solid artist. Big up to yourself, Etana. Well, next up, we have a presenter who is in his 21st year of practice as an attorney at law. He operates his own law firm, Young Law, and has served as deputy chairman of the Jamaica Anti-Piracy Alliance, JAPA. As an entertainment lawyer, he has provided counsel to industry players and stakeholders. Here to share more on the business of reggae music and its intricate legal side is entertainment attorney at law, Ronald Young.
Greetings, and thanks to the JN Group for inviting me to present during Reggae Month, the birth month of the late, great Bob Marley. Now look within, as Bob would say, and answer this question. Do you want to make music solely to express yourself, or do you also want to make money from your music? If you want to make money, then you have to learn to navigate the business of music. My job as an entertainment attorney is to teach you how to collect and protect your music income, to advise you on the legal rights and remedies you have in a negotiation or under a contract, with a goal of increasing your income and protecting you from losing it. So in under 5 minutes, I will give you 5 valuable tips for protecting your music and advancing in the music business. Number 1, be true to yourself. This means understanding who you are and what your strengths are as a creative. You may, for example, want to be a hardcore dancehall artist when you are a natural culture reggae singer. You may know chronics than Skilly Bang. Play to your strengths. Number 2, understand your rights and revenue streams. Learn about copyright and trademarks. Did you know that you own the copyright in a song automatically once you write it on paper or type it on your phone, and that registering it is just a means of protection? Do you know that while copyright refers to your original literary or musical works and performances, trademarks refer to your brand or logo that identifies you or your business? Understand your rights as a creator of a song, performance, or master recording. Then learn how to turn your rights into income. Did you know that being the creator of a song is different than being the creator of a recording of that song? And that if you own both rights, you can double your money? Ask me how. Number 3, record and register your work. Whether you are a songwriter, performer, or producer, ensure you keep records of your work that reflect the title of the work, when it was created, any co-creators, and its duration. Then register your work with the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office as a means of giving notice to the world that you created it. 4, build an effective team. For you to seriously advance in the music business, you need to find a great manager who will in turn help you to find great PR agents, booking agents, distributors, a street team, social media managers, and most importantly, a fantastic lawyer. If you are the business, then your team is your board of directors, there to guide you through high seas and low seas. Number 5, make good deals. The first element of making a good deal is understanding your bargaining power. You may be able to demand certain monies and rights as a top touring reggae artist that you will not be able to demand as a newcomer. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Always look at the bigger picture. But whether you are a new or seasoned artist or producer, or performer, you will be faced with contracts where you are to receive money from other parties, from sales of your music and image. So ensure that you pay attention to the following key clauses and ensure that they are included in your contracts. A duration clause. B, an income clause. C, an accounting clause. D, an audit clause. And E, an exit clause. The duration clause essentially sets out how long the agreement is for. Ensure you don't tie yourself into an overly long contract, especially when you aren't sure of the track record of the other party. 2, the income clause. This sets out what percentages of money you are to receive, what lump sum payments and advances, and what deductions can be made from those monies. For example, for marketing, manufacturing, and distribution. 3, the accounting clause. This says that the other party must send you regular statements showing how sales are going, what expenses were incurred, and how much money you are to receive. 4, the audit clause. This allows you to take your auditor and examine the books and records of the other party to ensure that the money the other party says you are due is in fact correct. Finally, the exit clause. This allows you to exit the contract where the other party is incompetent, unresponsive, or has breached the agreement in a serious way. The music industry can be treacherous, but it is also the road through which your dreams can become reality. So whether you are a reggae ambassador, the girls them sugar, or an unruly boss, make sure you take your music seriously and surround yourself with the people and the mindset that will propel you to the highest of heights. Thank you.
Wow, amazing stuff there. Excellent presentation, Ron. And as an attorney at law myself and a media practitioner, I definitely can agree with those salient points. Well, next up, we have Christy Barber, a Grammy-nominated music producer who has produced music for the likes of Jay-Z, Pharrell, Damian Jr. Gong Marley, and Stephen Marley. She is a 30-year music industry veteran who has served as co-chairman of the Reggae Grammy Screening Committee for approximately 12 years. She's right here on JN Talking Reggae.
Thank you very much, and I'm incredibly honored to be asked by Jamaica National to be a part of this reggae symposium. Today I'm speaking about an issue that's near and dear to my heart, that's incredibly important to the reggae music fraternity, and that's about the Grammys and the Recording Academy. I'd like to give you the Academy by the numbers and how the voting process works. We have 29 fields within the voting process. 29 fields are made up of 84 categories. We were able in years past to be able to vote in 15 fields outside of the general fields. As of 2021, the Recording Academy has changed that so that we are now, as voting members, only allowed to vote in 3 fields outside of the general fields. So that's a very, very big difference in the way that we used to vote in years past. For example, so you understand the field and the category. Having 29 fields, here in Jamaica, we have our reggae album field, which is only made up of 1 category, which is the reggae album. You also have the rap field, which is actually made up of several different categories. So our field has 1 category, the rap field can have 3 to 4 categories. That's how it's made up. It's made up of music albums, music singles, and craft categories. A craft category would be like best comedy album, which, just like us, sits alone in its own field with its own category. So that's how it's broken up as far as how we can vote. I'd also like to talk about the issues that actually affect the reggae album category. Back in 2003, when I started my advocacy program, I realized that we had 1 registered voter on the island of Jamaica. So I knew that we had a problem in our category because the people who were actually in our industry weren't actually voting in our field, and that needed to change. So I've spent years doing interviews and press, and as I'm doing tonight, educating our industry on how the process works. And as I've done it throughout the years, realized that we're not the only music genre that doesn't get it. The overall industry really doesn't get how it works. And with the Academy consistently making changes, it makes it very difficult to keep up with what's going on. So going back to when I was speaking about the numbers, the new rule that was put into place for 2021 definitely affects our reggae field for the simple fact that now we actually have people who actually do reggae music voting in our field. You had 15 fields before, and now you only have 3. Think about it as a voter. If you're not in the reggae industry, you could choose a rap field, you could choose a country field, you can choose these fields that have several categories in it where you feel like you're getting more bang for your vote. But you know, if you're in the reggae industry and this is what matters to you as it does to me, the very first field you're going to visit is the reggae album field, which is where our reggae album category sits, and you're going to cast your vote there. So you know it's going to limit the people who come over to vote that don't necessarily know what's going on in our industry. So that new rule put into place works to our benefit. Another thing, issues that we have, in the past, people have always asked for another category for us within our field. Back in the 90s, when I got involved with the Recording Academy and really getting involved in 2003 with this campaign, I had put petitions in, and other people put petitions into the Academy to try to get another category. Everybody wanted to do a reggae category, a dancehall category. Unfortunately, it never happened, and I don't actually ever see it happening for the simple fact that the Recording Academy, the main office that's based in LA, is a very small staff of people. And the Academy tends to take away fields, not put more fields in. Because the more fields you put in, the more categories involved, the more work that has to be done. So you tend to see things get condensed, some names changed, but it's very, very difficult for a field to get another category within it. And my bigger concern is the preservation of our actual field is what we need to be worried about. Right now, we're going through a pandemic where submissions across the board in all fields were very, very low. The biggest issue in our category, our field and category this year is we only had 125 submissions this year. And a lot of those submissions were one rhythm albums, which I absolutely love. I'm a lover of dancehall, but unfortunately, within the Grammy scheme of things, it is an art form that is only known to Jamaica. So if we only had like 70-something artist submissions this year, and the rest were like almost 50 one rhythm albums, the way that the Recording Academy could look at that is that we only actually had 70 submissions. And that is one of the key things they look at when they're getting rid of fields and categories. If your submissions are low, you can tend to lose your category. So what we need to educate our industry on is also how to submit a record to the Recording Academy. And the way that you can do that is you have to have an album that was released within the United States of America within that calendar year that's eligible for the Recording Academy. It also has to be considered a new recording. It can't be something that was over 5 years old. It has to be something that's considered new, not something that had been released before, unless you take an album where you do an album, but then you do it acoustically or you do it live. That to the Recording Academy is considered a new recording. So you can resubmit that. My example is Stephen Marley's Mind Control. People were confused, they didn't understand. One year he won for his debut solo album, Mind Control, and then he won the next year, and they were like, but that's the same album. Not according to the Recording Academy because he did it acoustically. So that's why artists can win for a live album because yes, they're doing material that was released before, but it's a new recording because now it's recorded live. So that is eligible. So we really have to make sure that people understand the submissions. And that's one thing is kind of my give back to our industry, that I have an open door policy that if people don't have the ability or know how to submit their records, I will submit them for them. You can actually submit an album if you are a record label that the Recording Academy deems a record label. You can't just make up a record label and say I'm a record label. It has to be a record label that they acknowledge. You have to be a media company that they would acknowledge, a publisher that they acknowledge, or you can be a voting member. And that's why I am able to offer up that service because I am a voting member for 19 years and I am able to submit people's projects. And I have to say, the other issue that we've had is people with this conspiracy theory about these committees. I sat on our screening committee for several years. The screening committee is not a hindrance, it's an incredible help. 99% of what makes it through the submission process is on the first ballot. Most of the people who actually sit on these committees aren't even voting members. It is not a room full of private people, 15 to 10 or 5 people deciding on who's going to win the reggae album that year. The only people who can decide who wins a Grammy are those 13,000 voters that are out there. It has nothing to do with a room of 5 people that were appointed to actually help with our process, not hinder it. So that is an argument that we need to just dead because, like I said, they're a help, they're not a hindrance. In conclusion, and I hope it wasn't too confusing trying to follow me with all the information, and there's just so much more information that's out there. You guys can learn like I've learned. And the one place you can go that's updated all the time, where all this information lives, is at www.grammy.com. You can always go to Grammy.com to find out all the new information, all the new rule changes, everything that's going on within the Recording Academy. But I do want to leave you with this. I know a lot of people say that the Grammys don't matter. They do matter. They are the most prestigious music accolade that you can receive in the world. Reggae music is the most influential music in the world. And there's not an artist that's down here that is either started or is a legend that doesn't deserve the ability to win one of these. And that's why I'm going to constantly be banging these doors, doing these interviews, and spreading the good word and the information to get these facts and the information correct on how to become a Grammy member and how to become a Grammy winner. And all I want to say is to the 6 nominees that we have this year, I'm incredibly proud of you. I'm happy for whomever wins. I'm always happy for whomever wins because it's another win for reggae. Thank you.
Wow. And a win for our reggae artists is a win for Jamaica. Thank you so much, Christy, for your thoughtful presentation. So much knowledge and insight there. And I do think that we probably will need a Talk Reggae Symposium Part 2, Mr. CEO, Mr. Jarrett. Yeah, I'll tell my people to call your people and we'll sort it out very well. So as an artist who is no stranger to reggae and dancehall music, he's been busy turning and churning out hits since 2005 when he stepped out with his first hit and has since given us others like One More Night, Jamaica Love, and Oh My Yay. We want to say thank you to all our panelists this evening, all our presenters, and the earlier performer, Etana, and everybody who watched at home online. Thank you for making it JN Talk Symposium. It was my pleasure and honor being here. Special thanks to the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and Jaria for their endorsement, TVJ, PBCJ, and Nationwide
JN.
90 FM, as well as the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission for your support. Of course, thanks to all of you, again, our viewers, for tuning in, and to all our YouTubers, and all the people on social media for making it JN Group. Stay tuned. Busy Signal is up next. La 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 la. Thank you for watching.
When me ready for be it, no boy can't buy me out. We no foreign minded, now we compared to Jamaica. It's Jamaica love. We wanna feel Jamaica love. Now when I represent the citizens of Jamaica, and JN we represent all over. It's Jamaica love. We wanna feel Jamaica love. Represent the people of Jamaica. Reggae Symposium, JN. Represent when you're born. Tune up hurricane and storm. From the crime rate chop, when no matter about that man, still a hustle hard and a guan. Yard man have the link to the link, pick on the Kenyan and American England. Make sure say when they're from and hustle, mama visit. Hey, then come here, we build up the foundation. All yard man say we have ambition. Now flash out all the money for SSP, NC guns and ammunition. Real Jamaica, me say show me the hand. Represent where you stand. JN, Reggae Month, tell you straight to we are one and say, it's Jamaica love. Represent. Yes, girl. Flowers in my garden. Pretty little, pretty baby. Yeah, yes, love. It's say you, no other one but you. Baby girl say it feels so right, so good. A Reggae Month, you know. Hey, JN girls, that mean what me saying from me heart. Baby girl, me and you will never part. Girl, me say you got me in a comfort zone. Every time me leave, me dying to come back home. Yes, baby, I no games me a play. I and I woulda never ever stray. Girl, me say you got me now your comfort zone. Get me solid as a rock, you know me tough like stone. I believe that love is a powerful thing, a feeling deep within. And if you believe in love, free up your mind and let this flow within. As early as the morning start, I'm giving thanks for this lovely thing. Girl, with every beat of me heart, swear that two would never part. I know other girl no hold me so tight yet, baby. None of them never squeeze me so, treat me so. Lord, you feel so right. No girl never squeeze me so tight yet. Yes, man, a reggae mountain. You know it go, right? No matter what time of day. Reggae symposium. Babes, baby. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, girlfriend. Ah, ooh. Hey, babe. Hey, JN Reggae Month. I wanna give you some sweet, sweet, sweet love, sweet love. On the night shift, and them girl up on the night shift. Yeah, oh baby girl, hold me tight. I wanna treat you right, yes. On the night shift, baby. Alright then, when no man want loving in the night, yeah. She clear rubber dub under them bedroom light, yeah. Crawl up in my arms like a spider. But if it's in a difficulty where she inside, she introduce you to the money energizer. Loving in abundance, get cause me no miser. Starts up, alright then, me representing for the ladies, but I want a reggae month. I said, I wanna give you some sweet love, sweet, sweet love, love, sweet love, whoa, 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 whoa. On the night shift, representing the ladies all the while. Reggae style. Reggae Monte Symposium. Reggae Symposium, yes. Yeah. My ladies. Hello, baby, can you come over? Right now, loneliness taking over. Need you tonight, I'm a lover. Come warm me up under the cup. Make we rock till the lampshade turn over. Rub me chest, rest your head by my shoulder. I make we listen some Anita Baker. Make love and wake up. Alright then, yes. Girls, you're all I need. And I'm always missing you. Miss you, baby. Miss you. Oh yes, I need your tenderness. I can't resist you. Miss you, baby. Miss you. Alright, so girl, hug me up. Squeeze me tight and close. Representing Reggae Month. I'd say we in ya. When we are mash up the place, Reggae Month say we in ya. Alright. When we are mash up the place, me say when say we in ya. A Reggae Month in our style. JN, watch out now. Please, pull up. Sound a bounce and the place a full up. Sexy girl now we can't get enough. Girl a good on pine, that we love. A murder when me step in at the club. Select that turn it up in the sub. Music a bounce and lyrics by the tons. Everybody out there. Hey, watch this. Me tell them to watch out for this. JN Reggae Symposium. Tell them to watch out for this. Me say watch out for this. Yo, tell them to watch out for this. Watch out for this. Hey. So me sing and watch out for this. And them are best lyrics. Mash up the place, but you are not for this. Hey. Me now miss number one on the list. Hey. Girl the bunks, things like this. And watch out for this. And them are best lyrics. Hey. Mash up the place, but you are not for this. Hey. Yo, me now miss number one on the list. Hey. Raise your ones like this. Hey. Boom. Hey. Reggae Montina. Hey, JN. Reggae Symposium, me say place turn over. Reggae month, and that's how we stay. Represent me said, free up, yes. free up, yeah. And I say what is to be must be. Thank just set me free, yes. Yeah. They say me nah go to jail again. I we never gonna feel again. Like a ship we a go sail again. Woulda never see me call me friend for bail again. Nah see me a courthouse no more. No bracelet up in the house no more. Step out and hold me one for sure. Real hustlers a road and make money galore. Yep. And I say if you ever been to jail before, you have to keep a eye open even if you a snore. The cardboard, some man a beat it on the floor. Reggae month, our style. Eh, na na na. Eh, na 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 na. Da 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 da. Yes, reggae music again. Oh yes, da 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 da. Oh na na na. Yeah, boom. It's been a long time now since we groove together like this. A different vibe is in the air. Reggae music again. Hi, happiness on every face. Peace and love for every race. Smile and greet with real friends over and over again. Reggae Monday and tell them this. A long time. We don't have no vibe like this. Reggae music again. Oh yes, reggae music again. Oh yes, and tell them say so long. We don't listen to some old time reggae song. Play the music again. Reggae music make we unite again and make we unite again. Then, yeah. Remember when, way back then, positivity was the message we send. No man not pretend. Root to the stem. It used to be Jamaica, no problem. Money you spend, borrow Ireland. And them kind of love that we need for extend JN. Remember when the skirt them are up on the pants them. Reggae symposium, me say a long. Yeah, give me another chance, baby, another chance, another try. Yes, ladies, one more night. Give me just one more night, yeah. Girl, one more night. 'Cause I can't live without you. Hey, me ladies, one more night. Baby, give me one more night. Yes, girl, a million more night. 'Cause I can't sleep without you. Alright, 'cause every day me say me want her in my life. And I mean no want to wake if she not dead by my side. I beg her apply, swallow me pride. My world so cold without a girl, me feelings can't hide. Remember when she said she need me all day. Love from the room to inna the hallway, girl. Me no really want to learn the hard way. I'm afraid to say please, girl, stay. So me begging you, one more night. Give me just one more night, girl, one more night, 'cause I can't live without you. Straight, representing the ladies, yeah? Reggae month, reggae symposium.
Building a fight, building a nation.